welcome to the start of the day where Nicholas is back at it in the kitchen cooking us some breakfast. We actually took a few days off of filming, but y'all probably don't even know that because we are still on track of uploading every single day because we pre-filmed a couple things. So I don't think we're actually going to miss a day at this point, but we might end up not doing all 25. But we've made it halfway, so that's a good start. At least we've done. How many are we at, Nicholas?
Don't say we're giving up already.
Well, today's the 12th. We have 2 more already filmed. We're filming this one, so that'll bring us to the 15th.
Yeah, it's getting rough.
It is getting rough. And we're about to, in 1 more week, basically, we are driving 12 hours to Pennsylvania for the holidays. So we're obviously not gonna film a 12-hour car ride where we're just like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Let's upload the full 12 hours.
No, that would be so awful. But yesterday I worked out. The reason we skipped a couple days of filming was because everything is getting so repetitive. Literally every single day it's so cut and flip, package these up. And we're just like bombarded, which is great. We are super busy, but we're not quite sure what to film. So leave us some ideas of what you would like to see about our daily life down in the comments below. That can be the giveaway for today. Let us know what you want to see, and don't forget to put your Instagram handle. Give us a good idea because we need them. But yesterday, what I was gonna say is that I worked out, and after I worked out, I went to the fabric store. I was a little bit hesitant to go to the fabric store because the last time I went, I was going for Valentine's stuff. And the last time I went, they didn't have anything. So I was like walking in unconfident, like why did I even drive here? Didn't even get a cart, and look what they had. This will be your little behind the scenes because no one else is gonna see this. I posted a picture, but it was black and white. You guys will see the full preview. Look at all of this goodness. I got some clovers and some hearts, some plaids, all for St. Patrick's Day and Valentine's Day. You can also let us know in the comments if you're excited for Valentine's Day. Are you over Christmas? Or I feel like I'm not like over Christmas. I'm very excited for Christmas, but I'm also moving on to Valentine's Day already in business mode at least. Maybe personally, I'm still excited for Christmas. What about you, Nicholas? I know what you're gonna say. Valentine's Day is Nicholas's birthday.
No, I'm not over Christmas at all. I love the Christmas season. Not over it in any way.
These look good. We also wanted to include in today's video, based on a lot of messages that we get, and this video is being filmed before the Can You Make a Living Selling Dog Bananas goes live, because that's gonna go live tomorrow, I believe. So this is not based on that reaction. This is just based on our daily response that so many people thank us for inspiring them and helping them with starting their own business or like kind of like chasing their own dreams. And that's like so awesome, and I love getting those messages because it makes us feel like we're making an impact on someone's life. But on the other hand, I feel like so many times we're putting out all of these good things and all of these fun things, and we don't really show the backside of the business and maybe some things to think about if you're starting a business that will maybe make you think a little bit more before starting something. So I think we're gonna talk, what kind of things do you want to talk about, Nicholas? Like taxes, how much work you're putting in, dealing with customers who aren't happy, you know, all those kind of things.
The uncertainty and risk of it.
The risk, yeah. So all the things that make it not as much fun, but obviously we still love what we do, and we're not telling you not to. I just thought after getting so many messages like, thank you, thank you, thank you, I'm like, maybe we should also put out the other side of the business world. So the first thing we wanted to touch on is kind of about like starting off and discouragement and success. So when you start off your business, you're not going to, you might have goals and that's great, but you're not going to grow super fast and be super successful in the first week, even in the first month. Like who knows when you're going to hit the mark or whatever goals you set for yourself, but it's gonna be really hard and discouraging in the beginning, but that's like you have to pass that hump to get over it. I know for us, like we had high hopes that like our friends and family were gonna buy, and I know not just for us, but for a lot of people that I've talked to or heard from, is that like friends and family are customers too, and they have a certain amount of money that they typically spend for like fun stuff or personal expenses, and you know, a lot of people put a lot of thought and effort into where they spend their money, how much money they spend, like what they're buying, and the truth of the matter is they're probably not going to want to spend it with you unless like that is something they were already going to buy. Like for us, it's dog bandanas, so it's a little bit different, but like a lot of people don't even put bandanas on their dogs. Like in our friends and family circle, they don't quite understand it, and so obviously us expecting them to buy one wasn't realistic because it's not something they would typically buy anyways.
Right, they've bought some of our stuff, but like definitely I would say probably our top 10, maybe even 20 customers have not been anyone that we know at all.
Oh, for sure. And another crazy thing is that although the friends and family might not buy from you as much as you would like or even at all, but they will tell people eventually too. And for us, we've seen a huge amount of sales come from, oh, well, I know this person. It's like, oh, like that person told you about us? Like, it's kind of shocking to us at first, like, oh, I barely know them, or I haven't seen them since high school, but they told their friend or family about us and they end up buying. So like that second connection, you know?
But we feel like it's been a snowball effect, and I think this is for most businesses. At the beginning, you know, you start out with that tiny snowball. It's not going to get to be a big snowball nearly as fast as you want it to. There are exceptions, but most businesses, it's going to take a while to build up steam and to get to be big and to get to the point to where you're like, oh wow, I've made it. And I think that we got discouraged in the beginning, but we can still get discouraged now. And I think even if you have a huge business, your goals obviously are evolving and you can always get discouraged. All business owners are gonna have to deal with that, but that's just part of the process. You're gonna have highs and lows, and it's just something that you also have to keep in mind.
I think another big question that we get is about like how much money to start a business, or I only have a little bit amount of money, like how can I start a business? And I feel like a lot of this video I keep saying like the harsh reality and like sorry to tell you this, but like if you don't have money, you can't really start a business. You have to be able to buy products and inventory and supplies. If you're hiring people, you have to be able to pay them. So there's a lot of things that cost money that go into a business. You have to buy a business license, like that costs money. You might want to hire a lawyer in the beginning if you're having contracts or liability things. Whatever your business is, it really will depend, but you're gonna have to spend money. So if you're thinking about starting a business, what I would do is create a budget sheet, write all the things that you would need and how much that's gonna cost, and then see if that number is even close to what you have saved, and then always expect to spend more than you thought, because there's always gonna be things that maybe you forgot about or are more expensive, or you needed more of that item than you thought you were gonna need.
Or a new opportunity comes up, like a customer asks for this and you're like, well, I don't have it, but you know, now I'll go buy it. And then
that reminds me, do you even remember when we started this that we didn't even have personalization?
No.
We didn't have a Cricut machine. We didn't have any way to personalize our bandanas. And obviously, like for us, that was the biggest request we got. We started off with just plain bandanas and very quickly realized like this isn't gonna work without the names, because, well, it would have, but like not to the level. Not to what we're doing now. And I actually, it was just, the timing was so weird for us. We started in this small group, and at the same time we were basically coming up with this idea. I met this girl who I really didn't know at that time, and for somehow she was telling me that she enjoyed crafting and had this Cricut machine, and that's really how I like, she invited me over and showed me what it was even like. She told me I could borrow it and like take it home if I wanted to use it, but then as soon as I saw it and I was like, this machine's awesome, I was like, we had to get one. Like I couldn't just borrow hers all the time. Like if we were gonna offer this, we were gonna do it. So that's what really got us to buy the Cricut machine. But like, yeah, people ask for things and you want to be able to offer it. Obviously you have to make sure it's going to be a good idea for your business. If someone asks for something that's not going to make you money or you don't think will sell well in the long run, sometimes you have to tell people no. For us, we get a lot of customer requests like, oh, can you have a fabric like this? My two options for that situation are, yeah, I can totally get that for you, but you have to pay for an entire yard of fabric, because if I don't think I can sell it again, then, you know, I have to make money on my business side. And then the other side is, sometimes the customer asks for something and I'm like, why didn't I think of that? So like I wouldn't make them pay more and I would charge them the same, because I know that if I buy a whole yard or however much I buy, that I will sell it. The Christmas bandana that says the best way to spread Christmas cheer is barking loud for all to hear, that was a customer request, once I made it, like obviously I put all the words the way they are, and I like created that, but that was her idea to come to me and ask if she could have something like that. And so once I created it, I'm like, this is so cute, and so I just loved it, and I'm like, I'm gonna put this on the web. Well, at first I was just doing it on Instagram, and then, you know, sometimes customers come up with better ideas
than you can.
Yeah, I feel like I got off tangent a little bit, but felt like that story was important to share.
Yeah, I think just the main point in the beginning is definitely go into it with more savings than you think you will need, because the more money that you can start off with in your business, and then when the business makes money that you can keep reinvesting back into it, the faster it can grow, and you're just giving it the best opportunity to succeed. But I feel like the reason businesses fail is because you either run out of savings or the business isn't making enough money, you know, 6 months, 1 year, 2 or 3 years down the road. And if you go into it with the knowledge, I need to have way more than I think I do, you're giving yourself and your business the best chance to succeed in the long run.
The other thing I wanted to talk about, which I said this in the very beginning about taxes. So my stepdad owns his own business. He's a stonemason. But when we told him that we were thinking about doing this, or like even doing our own business at all, he was like, I really encourage you not to do it because business taxes are crazy, and it's just something like he hates dealing with. So like he was just trying to warn us about that, and like I'm glad we had that warning, but I don't even think we took it into like, oh my gosh, this is what it's gonna be.
Well, that really reminds me of another thing. There's a lot of stuff that you don't think about. I just had to, you know, get my own healthcare plan, and normally a lot of jobs that you would have. You should do a whole video about that. Maybe I will. It was boring, so.
For us, I'm like, there's so many people who their full-time job is YouTube, or they own a business, like how do they get insurance? No one ever talks about it. And so like we were really struggling with what to do, and Nick was just
if you guys are interested in seeing that, then maybe we'll make a video about it. But there's just a bunch of stuff, whether it's benefit type stuff, healthcare related, or it's, you know, having to pay your own taxes, or even just something like saving for retirement. You have to consciously take money out or whatever and put it into a retirement account, versus where if you're at a big company, they're gonna say, okay, we'll take this much and put it in an IRA for you or whatever. None of that happens unless you do it at your own company.
That's so true. And for the taxes, what I was gonna say is like, the more successful your company is, like the more taxes you're gonna have to pay. So like keep that in mind when you're like, I wish I could grow, I wish I could grow. If you don't have a lot of money and stuff, like in the beginning you'll be glad like at least you didn't have to pay a lot of taxes, I feel like. Is that stupid to say? Well,
people say that. I always feel like, I think Warren Buffett talks about it. It's like, you know, I had to pay a lot of taxes. Well, that means you made a lot of money. So
that's true.
It's a double-edged sword, but I'd rather be on the making money side.
Yeah, and for us, in any business like us, I guess you have to think about the sales tax and what state you live in and stuff. And so like every single month I'm having to file the sales tax, and then like obviously at the end of the tax year you have to do all of the accounting taxes too. It's like literally so confusing if you know, like I went to business school, but like I feel like I didn't like learn this, you know?
We didn't learn a lot of this stuff, particularly around like internet and social media marketing, and then how like all the regulations work around that as well.
This is where we should ask them, if you're watching this and you have a business or you're wanting to start a business, Nicholas has an idea to create a online course about starting your own business. Like I feel like on YouTube we share to like, this is how much knowledge we have and this is how much we share on YouTube, because
it takes so much time.
It takes a lot of time and effort. We're not quite sure like what we should share on YouTube, and we know that maybe at some point we want to create this course, so we're like saving extra knowledge too for that course. So if you would be interested in paying for an online course about how to start your own business, things that we've learned and tips and tricks we have for you, let us know if that's something you'd be interested in. It would take a while for us to create it, obviously, but it would be all videos of us talking and sharing and showing helpful things for you in starting your business.
We just found that when we were starting, like maybe they were out there, and if they were, maybe they were too expensive or whatever it might be. We just felt like there was nothing affordable or even really very specific to what we were trying to do. We felt like, or we feel like there's a lot of people out there that were in the same boat as us, that it's like, I'm not trying to start, you know, I mean, it'd be great if it was a $10, $20 million business, but I'm trying to start a business that, you know, I can work at, or me and my husband can work at, or just a few friends, and that it can be successful within those realms. But yeah, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, this might be the wrong mentality, but for me, I really don't like when people ask me very specific questions about our business and how they can apply it to their own business, because I feel like we worked so hard to figure all this out on our own, and I feel like that person should have to do what we had to go through. But if they paid us for it, then I would be more willing to share it. And that's why I'm saying, like, that might not be the right mentality, but that's how I think. Like, I had to work, spend so much time researching and learning and watching videos, and I had to do it all. So don't come to me asking for a quick answer when, like,
well, that's the thing, though. It's not really a quick answer. We would give it, I think we would give that out if it was like, oh, here's the quick, 2-word answer. The thing is, it actually would take a long time to sit down and explain, because it isn't a super easy thing.
Dani and Nick, business coaches.
Oh, man.
You would enjoy that.
Yeah, I would. And we were doing that before we started Tails Up Up. If you've
not business coaching.
No, not business coaching, but we were doing it on the marketing side. Sorry. We were working with small businesses, helping them with their marketing plans, and obviously business is way more than that, and the course would be way more than that. But we enjoyed that as well.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of questions that people had as well, is, how do I do marketing on social media, and how am I successful in that way?
We touched on this in the Can You Make a Living Selling Dog Bandanas, which we keep referring to that, so if you want to watch that, we'll leave it linked down below. That has a lot of useful information.
That's part 2, the second video.
Yeah, but the first one wasn't really like that.
We were so new.
And that whole video, the first video wasn't dedicated to that.
Yeah, it was like a
we
half
just titled it that, and then it like went crazy, but.
No, it was half the video was about that.
Well, what I was gonna say for this right now is that another downfall, I don't even know what we're gonna call this video, because they're not like downfalls, but like the dark side to owning a business, like customer complaints, or customers in general. Sometimes that is very, very hard, and I don't know why. I think I'm like a people pleaser, and I want everyone to be happy, so like
you are a people pleaser,
it causes me so much anxiety when like someone messages me like, where's my package, or this is wrong, or
I think this gets to just like a broader point in general, whether it's customer complaints, taxes. When you're your own business owner, we try to show you the most interesting, fun stuff and portray all the great things, but you're having to do a lot of stuff. Like, I don't like to sit down and do taxes. I know that most people don't want to have to sit there all day and deal with customer complaints. You don't want to have to figure out, even in the beginning, how do I get a business license? What's going to be the right thing to do? Should I be an LLC, a C Corp? All those things are hard, and you basically have to be a jack of all trades, which no one knows all that stuff unless, I don't know, you wouldn't know it all, and it's a learning progress. So just keep in mind that you have to wear a ton of different hats when you run your own business.
Yeah, some people are like, if you ever wanted to go back to a traditional job, how would you? And I'm like, oh, and yesterday I was meeting with my friend who also owns a business, and I forget exactly how she said it, but it was like, oh, she said that owning your own business was harder than being an employee for someone else, and I so agree, because we literally do what every other person, like, other companies hire someone to do all the things that we are currently doing. Like, we currently don't have any employee, it's just the two of us, so we literally do everything from A to Z, so like, we do so much, and we've learned so much, so like, ever going back to a traditional job, we have so much to ever talk about, like, yeah, so many skills that we've learned and that we can apply to some other job in the future if we ever chose to do that, or even if we started a different company, like.
The skills will apply again.
Should we talk about our employees?
I want to say one thing real quick, just like kind of on a happy note. There are a lot of bad things that you don't like to do, and for us, obviously, we're making our own product, so we have to, take the pictures and create the content around it that's going online. I love that. It's something that's so fun for me. I know Danielle likes to help with that too, so there's going to be parts of your business, obviously, you wouldn't probably be starting it if you didn't like some of this stuff, so obviously there's
and for us, the good outweighs the bad.
100%.
I started off this video saying, and I just want to reiterate that we put so much good out about our business on the internet that I felt like we needed to share a little bit of
reality check.
Yeah, so that you guys understand that it's not all sunshine and rainbows and that there are some things to think about. So that's why we're making this video. Not so much complaining or anything, but I want to show you guys, if you're thinking about starting a business, some other things that you might want to think about. But the one thing I was going to just say was like, share about our struggle with hiring someone. It's like, we thought it was going to be easier than it is. Like, we so badly want to hire someone and it's been such a struggle. And like, that's another thing to think about. If you're starting a business, you might not be thinking about employees right now because you might just think you can do it all by yourself. But
in the beginning, you probably should start out doing it all by yourself while you're growing, and
or you might still, if it wasn't us two, like I would probably have wanted to hire someone to do like whatever, all the stuff you do, you know, like it's really hard to do it all by yourself.
Right.
But just think about how you're gonna find someone to hire. Like, you know, you have to be able to trust that person and they are going to be representing your brand, so that's really hard.
You need someone that's reliable, skilled. I mean, there's a lot of boxes to check and it's definitely more difficult than I know I initially thought it was going to be.
For us, the reliable part is the hardest part to find. I think that it's hard when they see us, two young kids basically, running a business, you know? Maybe. Well, that's what I think they see, and so they don't take it seriously when I'm like, you have to be here at this time and do this amount of work. Like, I don't know what has happened, but it's been really hard, and so that's just one of the downfalls. Yeah, I wish I could hire Holly. Want to be seamstress?
You're a good worker.
She could step on the pedal.
Down, please.
What?
Whoa!
She's never done that before.
These are high chairs too. Whoa, where are you going?
Can you believe that? I looked away.
How do we get it on camera? With all that being said, we are so happy, or we are happy business owners.
Yes.
And we would not change any of this for the world. We would highly recommend, if you have an itch to start your own business, just know that it's gonna be hard, but it can be so rewarding at the same time. For us, the benefits have 100% outweighed all the negative stuff, and go for your dreams if you want to.
And we get to work with our spouse, which is very rare.
Yes, it is. Sometimes we fight, but overall it definitely makes us closer.
What? We fight?
Newsflash. We actually don't fight most of the time, but there are...
Argue.
Yeah. And Dani, I've learned, is always right.
True. But like Nicholas was saying, this is not to discourage you from starting what you want to start. We just wanted to show a little bit of the backside and some things to think about before.
Yeah, with anything, knowing that stuff ahead of time will prepare you for the hard road. We are not trying to hide anything. It can definitely be difficult and discouraging at times. Knowing that going into it will definitely help you get through it.
And if you'd like more information on our take on the business, like I said, link down below is the Can You Make a Living Selling Dog Bandanas video that we just uploaded. It has a lot of very useful information, I think.
Don't forget to enter the giveaway. We would
subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Go follow us on Instagram, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.